Gaining public trust is crucial for companies, and it's something that doesn't happen overnight. Take SpaceX, for example. They've built their reputation over many years with consistent performance and innovation. But losing this trust is easy, and rebuilding it is very tough, as Boeing has found out with their Starliner spacecraft. Initially, many people thought Boeing, with its vast aerospace experience, would develop a spacecraft to rival SpaceX's Dragon. In 2014, NASA awarded Boeing a $4.2 billion contract to develop and certify the Starliner. In contrast, SpaceX got a $2.6 billion contract for the Crew Dragon. However, Boeing's total investment from NASA eventually increased to $5.1 billion
Boeing's total investment from NASA eventually increased to $5.1 billion due to additional funding needs, while SpaceX's funding remained at about $3.1 billion.
Starliner was originally expected
Despite the higher investment, Boeing has faced significant delays and setbacks.
Meanwhile, SpaceX successfully launched its first crewed mission with the Dragon in May 2020, and since then, Crew Dragon has become the most trusted crew capsule, regularly transporting astronauts to the International Space Station. After receiving their contract in 2014, Starliner's first uncrewed test flight in 2019 failed to reach the International Space Station. The second uncrewed test flight planned for 2021 was delayed due to valve issues but was successfully completed in 2022, paving the way for crewed flight tests. However, planned crewed flight tests in 2023 were further delayed due to parachute and wiring issues. Recently, Boeing was given another chance with the Starliner. A launch attempt was scheduled for May 6, 2024, but it was called off due to a mechanical issue with an oxygen relief valve on the Atlas V rocket's Centaur upper stage. This incident added to the skepticism around Starliner's reliability and Boeing's capability to deliver. Despite these challenges, NASA and Boeing have set a new target launch date of June 1, 2024. This mission, known as the Crew Flight Test, is crucial for Starliner's future. Although public confidence is low, Boeing claims they have resolved the issues and are confident in their readiness. Meanwhile, SpaceX is making history not only with its Falcon 9 rockets but also with the legendary Starship rocket. As they prepare for the fourth flight of this rocket, Elon Musk has just revealed something very interesting about this upcoming mission. Musk first introduced the Starship during a presentation in September 2019, expressing high hopes for its potential to take humans to Mars. Since then, SpaceX has made significant progress, developing dozens of prototypes for both the Starship and its booster. These prototypes have undergone extensive testing to refine their designs and functionalities. To date, SpaceX has conducted 3 notable orbital flight tests with these prototypes. The first orbital flight test occurred on April 20, 2023, involving prototype Ship 24 and Booster 7. Unfortunately, the vehicle was lost just under 4 minutes after launch. Despite the setback, this test set a record for the most powerful rocket stage ever launched due to its massive thrust capacity. The second test followed on November 18, 2023, and also ended in failure. However, it introduced new techniques such as hot staging and a water deluge system at the launch pad. Despite successful booster and ship separation, the mission encountered issues with several engines shutting down prematurely, leading to the loss of the booster. The third orbital flight test took place on March 14, 2024. This test was notable for several milestones. Ship 28 successfully separated from its super heavy booster and reached orbital velocity. Unfortunately, SpaceX lost contact with Ship 28 during its re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere, and it did not achieve a planned splashdown in the Indian Ocean. Now, as we eagerly await the fourth flight test of the Starship, we all thought it would be pretty much the same as the last 3 launches: send up the rocket, get it into orbit, and then splash it down into the ocean. But Musk threw us a curveball with his latest plan. He said this time they're going to try landing the Starship's booster with something called a virtual tower. This could really change how SpaceX reuses their rockets. The virtual tower isn't a physical structure like the Mechazilla Tower. Instead, it's a system that uses precise guidance and control algorithms to simulate the functions of a physical tower during the landing process. This means the booster will be guided to land in a way that mimics landing on an actual tower, but without needing the physical tower itself. For this test, Musk is opting for this virtual approach over using the actual Mechazilla Tower. This allows SpaceX to test and refine the landing technology in a controlled and somewhat less risky environment before moving on to the more complex Mechazilla, which involves the chopsticks mechanism designed to catch the booster midair. Depending on the results from the virtual tower landing attempt, SpaceX will assess the precision of the system. If the outcomes are promising, they might move forward with using the actual Mechazilla tower for the fifth flight. Seeing this giant mechanism in action for the first time will truly be an exciting moment to witness. Usually, when we talk about reusable rockets, we think of rockets like Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy, which aren't fully reusable. Only the boosters of these rockets land back on Earth and fly again, making them partially reusable. But Starship is set to be very different. It's going to be the first fully reusable rocket ever to lift off. The Mechazilla tower is designed to catch both the booster and the Starship midair and land them safely back on Earth. Musk didn't just discuss the virtual tower, he also shared exciting details about the future size of the next-generation Starship. His revelation came after he responded to a post on Twitter comparing the sizes of various rockets. Musk tweeted that the Starship stack will probably approach 140 meters over time, which would make it a few meters taller than the Great Pyramid of Giza, standing at 137 meters. This puts Starship in the running to be the biggest rocket in the world. With a thrust capacity of 7.5 million kilograms, it's roughly double that of NASA's Space Launch System, making it the largest and most powerful rocket ever designed. Now, it might seem like if the rocket is big, it can carry enough fuel to reach destinations like the Moon and Mars. But the thing is, the larger the rocket, the more fuel it consumes. This increased consumption means that simply enlarging the rocket isn't always the most efficient solution. That's why SpaceX is working very hard on the idea of orbital refueling. Orbital refueling is a groundbreaking technique that involves transferring fuel between spacecraft while they are in orbit. This allows the Starship to carry less fuel during liftoff, which can significantly increase the payload capacity for longer missions. Instead of loading up with all the fuel needed for a round trip, Starship could refuel from a tanker spacecraft already in orbit. Musk emphasizes that perfecting this orbital refueling technique is very important for the success of the rocket's future. Looking ahead, SpaceX has a series of planned tests and developments for Starship. Only in 2024, SpaceX aims for at least 9 launches throughout the year. Musk's vision extends even beyond this. He is aiming for a staggering production rate of 1,000 Starships per year. Achieving this would not only require refining the technology but also significantly expanding the launch infrastructure. This includes building more launch pads and towers capable of supporting this high volume of launches. To support such a massive scale of operations, SpaceX continues to develop and expand facilities like the Starbase in Texas. There is also the issue of regulatory approvals. We've seen this with the FAA, which has caused delays for SpaceX in the past. Getting permission for each launch becomes a major problem when you're talking about launching 1,000 times a year. Musk and SpaceX recognize the need to improve their relationship with regulatory bodies like the FAA. It's not just about getting launches off the ground faster, it's also about ensuring safety and compliance. And that's all for today's update. If you enjoyed watching and found it useful, please make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.